Apparently, David Cameron was able to convince the Parliament, 524 to 43, to vote for airstrikes in Iraq. They're not going to go into Syria. He's meeting stiff opposition from the Labour Party. But apparently the Parliament has said, okay, you can go in and bomb Iraq to get those psychopathic terrorists who must be destroyed, and so forth and so on. So the war in Iraq is cranking up. War number 3. Operation Desert, this time we'll get it right. And already, of course, people are scratching their heads and wondering what the heck's going on. The Independent in Great Britain is out there saying, is the government's strategy any more coherent than it was back in 2003? And the answer is probably going to be no. We are hearing more and more confirmation from other sources about 13,000 U.S. troops on their way to Tikrit, probably already arriving as I speak these words. It's been carried by Press TV. The Iraqi media is covering it, and pointedly there's been no comment at all from the White House to say this is nonsense, we're not doing it. But what we do have over in KansasCity.com is the announcement that soldiers from Fort Riley are going to be heading to Iraq in October. And they're not going to Tikrit, they're going to Baghdad, they're going to various other areas. So this 500 soldiers from Fort Riley is over and above the 13,000 that are, or 1,300 rather, no, 13,000 it was, that are already on their way to Tikrit. So much for no boots on the ground. I don't know, maybe Obama is sending all these guys over there barefoot. Don't you get sick and tired of being lied to all the time? I certainly do. Anyway, now we're getting an interesting report. I mean, talk about a flustercluck of an operation, and it's already turning out to be that way. Iraq's Hezbollah battalions are saying that U.S. warplanes are not bombarding ISIS, but they're attacking positions of the Iraq army and the volunteer forces. And they've done this twice now. They're going in there saying, we must get ISIS, and they're blowing up the Iraqi forces and the people trying to help them. I'm sure over in the White House they're saying, well, all those Arabs look the same to me. You know, we just kill them all, let God sort them out, or anything like this. We're seeing more and more confirmation of this story that was actually reported at one point on CNN, that the first airstrike into Syria was blowing up empty buildings, that ISIS had somehow from somewhere gotten an advance warning and had already evacuated those buildings. Remember when the airstrikes first went in, and I commented on those gun camera videos saying we don't see people running away from the strike. There are no secondary explosions. They look like they're bombing empty buildings, and it turns out that seems to be what's going on. And this was actually reported on CNN by Arwa Damon and then promptly ignored by Wolf Blitzer in the follow-up. Now, we posted a video to whatreallyhappened.com on the ISIS airstrikes. And this video really underscores that this is all theater. It's all staged. And the video basically shows a bunch of these evil ISIS people surrounding an old artillery piece, which isn't actually firing. And frankly, it looks so rusty, I don't think I'd trust to put a live round in it. And they're just milling around. And all of a sudden, they pull back. They just well away from the artillery, and they're just standing around there. And there's one guy in the front with his hands over his ears, just pacing back and forth. And then a bomb comes in and blows up the artillery. What an amazing coincidence. And if you believe that one, I have some of Saddam's nuclear weapons to sell you. It's amazing. Now, according to the FBI, the identity of that masked English-speaking ISIS militant who was faking those beheadings of all those various Mossad spies in the orange suits here has been identified. And he's likely to have come from somewhere in North America, according to FBI Director James Comey. My first guess would be Langley, Virginia. All righty here. Now, you know about this coalition of the willing? And Obama's out there. We have 56 countries who are part of the coalition, including Slovenia is on the list, which is annoying the government of Slovenia because apparently they weren't asked. They just got put on the list just to fill the list out. And he's very angry, saying, nobody called us, nobody asked us, they just put our name on the list. White House spokesslug came out and said, did we say Slovenia? I meant Slofrenia, really. There is a Slofrenia, right? I mean, I can't remember all those country names. Things will be easier under the one world government. I won't have to memorize as many place names here. And it's just all fraud and fakery. We got to take a break for commercials. We'll be right